Hello, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a little everyday makeup look. Basically I'm just sitting here on the floor of my bedroom with all the products I've been using pretty much every day. So I just want to kind of do my makeup like I have been and kind of talk about everything. So I'm going to put my hair back real quick. Or just kind of like out of my face with these little clips. I got these off of Amazon. I think they are so good because I think they're called alligator clips, I'm pretty sure. They don't crimp your hair, right? So my hair looks pretty ridiculous right now. We're just going to kind of let it be. But when I take them out, they're not going to have like these weird little spaces that mess with my curl pattern. So I really, really like them. So I am just going to kind of get started here. I have not really been using primer for a while. My skin is already moisturized. I've gone through my entire morning skincare routine about an hour ago. So this is kind of like where I like to be in terms of like the way my skin feels before I'll put makeup on. If I really have to and I'm in a rush, I will do my makeup right away after doing my skincare, but if I can wait, I like to give myself a little bit of time for things to kind of sink in so that nothing pills up or anything like that. So my base today is going to be a mix of the Chanel Le Beige and the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation in the shade LN4. So the way that I kind of organize my skin here is I do one pump of the Chanel, which is very watery, so be careful. It is a water fresh tint. And then I do a couple of little swipes of the Physicians Formula, and then I kind of mix it all together with my finger. I really haven't been doing a lot of coverage, and I'll just sort of apply it to my face. Like so. Get a little mirror. No, I just said mirror like that. And I'm just going to kind of pick up a little bit off the back of my hand to blend everything in. And we're going to blend. This is my It Cosmetics number 7. You know, I was going to say 7 before I looked, but I wanted to be correct. So I've really been enjoying this combination for my base. I feel like it's just very fresh, very light, not too much coverage, which is pretty much exactly what I've been liking. So that's like a finished, obviously not powdered down, and very glowy side of my face. And then we'll go in on the other side and blend. So sometimes I use the Water Fresh tint by itself, and it does blend out just fine. It doesn't look too dark on my skin or anything like that. But I've been really enjoying this combination recently, so got a little blemish up on my forehead right now. I had a blackhead, like a real blackhead that I was able to get out with one of my little tools, sanitized of course, but my skin does kind of blemish easily, so even though it was probably a positive thing to get the blackhead out, now I have a little red mark. Similarly happens on my chin, so just kind of blend everything down my neck. I don't know why I already put my earrings on, probably for the aesthetic, but you know, whatever. And that's about what we'll do. So usually I have a little bit left on the back of my hand, and unfortunately that's usually wasted, but it's not much I can do with it, so we will wipe that off. And then I'm going to go in with my concealer, which has been, and every single day, you guys should know this, the Bareminerals BareSkin Serum Concealer. You know, filming on my computer, I can't edit, so it's a little nerve-wracking. But for concealer, I just bring it a little bit down next to my nose, a little bit over here, a couple spots on my forehead, spots on my chin that I will be letting sit for a minute before I blend them out to let the coverage kind of do its thing. That guy's gonna be really angry tomorrow probably. And then I like to take the same brush. I actually like the big side for concealer too. I do not enjoy using the concealer brush for concealer. I don't really use this one for anything. I don't really like it. And I'm just gonna kind of blend everything out. This is probably my go-to concealer pattern. I really don't use a lot of concealer. I've never really been into the whole giant triangle kind of a thing, even when it was really big. I know that people are kind of like veering away from that these days, but it's never really been my style. I'm not a full glam kind of makeup person, right? So it's probably not a surprise, but I certainly didn't even try it when it was kind of like on trend. I did a couple of times, obviously, you know, like following makeup tutorials and stuff, but it always just looked so ridiculous on me. So I'll just blend out the forehead a little bit. Just kind of get around the brows. Sometimes that combination of base doesn't stick super well around my brows, but it's not a problem because I know that my concealer can go in and do the work later. So I feel very good about that. So I'm actually gonna powder underneath my eyes while I let the concealer on my chin sit just a little bit longer. So I'm taking the ByTerry HydraPowder in the shade 200 Natural. This is probably my favorite powder that I've ever used. Very much took over for the Glossier powder. I do still really like that one, but I've just been using this a lot. So this is the Morphe M531. I do not use this for its intended purpose of eyeshadow. I actually use it as a spot conceal setting brush because I very much appreciate minimal powdering. And for that reason, I like to just powder right underneath my eyes. And just right next to my nose, right here, which is where I get the most oil buildup. Just do a little bit, kind of not taking anything else on my brush, just dusting it. Yep. And we are going to kind of go back in with that once my concealer has set on my chin, so I'm going to like leave it over here. I'm going to do my eyebrows now. I know this might seem kind of silly, but I really do like to let this concealer sit there because that is how you get the best pigment payoff. So this is the Hourglass Arch Brow Micro Sculpting Pencil. That's an odd order of words, in my opinion. That's okay. And I've actually been really enjoying this for my brows recently. I didn't think I was going to care for it as much because I was really stuck on the brow pen train, but it's really quite good, and I like the shade. I actually have the shade Blonde, so we're just going to kind of do some brows. Obviously, we do not have editing capabilities on a photo booth, so I will be doing my brows with you. I've really just been focusing on kind of like extending my tail and kind of straightening it out a little bit underneath, and then, you know, the trick for me is to always go back through with the spoolie and really kind of distribute the product. I don't want to have any harsh lines. I'm trying not to pluck my brows right now. I did get a couple of pesky guys yesterday, but I'm trying really hard not to until I can go to a brow person. I don't have like a brow lady, but you know, you see it's just like a little bit more fullness and a little bit more definition at the end. I do like my tail to be a little thicker, you know, so, oh, why did I just do that? Because I can't see what I'm doing. And then we're gonna go in and do the other brow. This is kind of my good brow right now, so it needs a little bit less attention at the moment, which is nice. It's always good when you have like one brow that's cooperating with you. It'd be great if both of them were, but at least having one brow kind of with you. And I do very, very light kind of almost circle motions at the very front of my brow. I do not want to add any structure. I just want to make sure that the color is all even because this brow pencil really helps me to kind of add that redness to my brows. That isn't there naturally, obviously. So I think we're good there. I am going to use a brow gel, but I'm not going to use it yet because I don't want anything to be disturbed by my bronzing. So I'm going to blend out this chin concealer now, now that we've waited a year. And it seems, you know, it covers things up a little bit more when you let it sit, so. What we've done. If you have really pesky blemishes, sometimes blending it out with your finger is a little bit better, but it's just your preference. And now we're just going to take what's left in the lid of this powder and just very lightly kind of tap it where I have concealed my smile lines a little bit. Okay, so that's it for powder, and you'll notice that I have not powdered my cheek area, cheek region, and that's because I use cream products for the rest of my face. So we're going to go with bronzer first. So this is the Hourglass Illume Sheer Trio. This is limited edition, so sorry. If you have the Milk Makeup Baked Bronzer, if you have the Chanel Soleil Tan, there's lots of cream bronzers out there. I know Fenty just came out with one. Use that. Use whatever bronzer of your choice if you feel like trying out a tutorial. What am I saying? If you feel like following along with me right now. Not that anybody wants to do that at the moment. I almost kind of like pinch this brush. This is the Wand Ball powder brush, actually, from It Cosmetics, and I recently got this trick from Mariah Leonard, an angel among us on the YouTube sphere, and she used this brush for a cream bronzer. She said that it really helps to sort of diffuse the bronzer out in kind of a different way than a beauty blender, and it doesn't really disturb what's underneath, so I'm just sort of doing a little bit on my jaw there. And she kind of takes a little bit, I don't know why I'm tapping it, it's cream, and she almost kind of like does that underneath her eyes, because if you think about what a sunburn would actually look like, and that's what we're sort of trying to mimic here, it would still get the sides of your nose, right? Like there'd be this space right here that didn't get sunburn, but everything else would. So bring it up to your temples, you know, bronze your face. So that's going to be it for the bronzer. For blush, we're going to use the Tower 28 Golden Hour, which I love this formula. It's very pigmented, so I'm going to take literally the tiniest bit on my finger. This is like an orange shade, by the way, so just going to like wipe it off, honestly, because I do not want too much. It definitely shows up orange on me, right, because I'm very pale. I saw a lot of people using this in reviews, and that's why I bought it. I was like, oh, maybe it'll be a little peachy on me. No, it's definitely orange. So I bring it up a little bit onto my temples. That's my favorite way to marry a more intense blush. Just kind of pop it on my face a little bit more. But it blends out so well, right? It's beautiful, and it has a really nice sheen to it. And then the other thing I'm going to do is take a little bit of the pink from this Hourglass palette, and we're just going to pop it on top. I don't always do this, and I don't always do it with this blush, but today I think I want a little bit more pink. I'm really thinking about picking up the Magic Hour shade in this because I just really, really love the formula. Patting a little bit over my nose too, right? Because remember, we're trying to mimic a sunburn here. So you can just see it's a really, really, really beautiful look. This trio comes with a highlighter, but I don't love it. I think it's kind of boring, so I'm going to instead use the Tower 28 again, the No Shade SuperDew, which is, it's a clear balm, right? Like, it's basically a lip balm, but do you see that? See how wet that makes your face? Yeah. A little bit up here. Brow bone. You know what? I'm actually in the mood today. I'm just going to put this on my lid. I'm going to be a little glossy. Now, I know a lot of people make, you know, comments about, like, what finger you're using for things, and I don't really buy into any of that, right? You use whatever finger you want. Like with under eye cream, for example. Everybody says to use this finger. I can make the other fingers have the same amount of pressure, right? Like, that's up to me. So for this look, I'm bringing it down kind of like onto my cheeks, to the apples of my cheeks, and it marries really nicely with the sheen in the blush as well. So I think it's a really good look. The next thing I'm going to do is take a little bit of that bronzer, put it in my crease of my eye. Not a lot of it, right? Like, barely any, honestly. Just a little bit of definition in my eye. Bring it underneath. Honestly, accentuating eye bags is the new thing, right? At least for me, that's what I've been doing. Me and my hooded eyes. So, now we're going to go in with brow gel. This is the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter, a favorite of mine, has been for a long time. If you're going to pick a brow gel up anytime soon, I would recommend this guy. And I sort of push the front of my brows up a little bit to give them a little floof, because I just think that that looks good on me. And now we are going to pop on mascara, but not before we curl our lashes. This is the Kevyn Aucoin Lash Curler. I know a lot of people talk about specific lash curlers as being like really, really special. I don't really care because I have not been curling my lashes for that long. But I suppose this one is good. Makes a difference. Now, to be honest with you, I've been getting styes recently. I've been pretty prone to them, so mascara's not my favorite thing in the world right now, but that's okay. We're gonna put it on anyway for the video. This is the Glossier Lash Slick, definitely a favorite of mine. Trying not to make that face because I was watching a TV show and they called out the mascara face. It's rude. It's not our fault. And then we're going to do lips last, and then that's it. So Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in Pillowtalk. So I don't know if you guys will notice, but this side of my lip is like higher than this side. So I don't really overline this side. I just kind of match, and that's, I call it a day. So on the bottom, kind of match and bring it in, and then up here, match it, and then this side, we got a little more, right? And then we have a matched up lip. Oh my goodness, I'm tired. Also Nichols hair. And I'm kind of gonna accentuate my Q as well a little bit, because we're gonna use a clear gloss. And then we're going to take probably my favorite product as of late. Got you, stupid cat hair. This is the Tower 28 Lip Jelly in the shade Chill. It's a clear gloss, guys. There's nothing exciting. But, oh my god. Right? Like when I say glossy. Do you see that, right? That's something that you all see too, right? I'm not losing my mind. It's literally stunning. And I'm looking at myself right now. I think I need more blush. So I'm going to go in with a little more of this pink on a Sigma F15. And we're just going to kind of do a little more. And adding more blush to a look is fine, because blush is the first thing that's going to go away when your makeup starts to fade, so I wouldn't worry about it. I really wouldn't. And then I think I'm just gonna like do a little bit more powder, because we have a extremely dewy look going on right now. So I'm taking the Kat Von D number 25. This is my favorite brush, and I am just gonna kind of press a little bit of powder, you know, places on my face that I don't want to be shiny. There's some places I don't want everything to be shiny, right? So that seems reasonable. And we are gonna spritz with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus. I just locked it on myself. Do as I say, not as I do. Let me just sort of fan that off. Take these out of my hair, and you guys will see the curl pattern has not changed, right? So, I don't know what my curls are up to, but this is the final look. Yeah, you know, I mean, if it wasn't something I liked, I wouldn't be doing it every day, but this is pretty much it. I've been really enjoying this dewy, kind of fluffy brow look, kind of a statement earring, you know, I've put my hair up and I feel chicer somehow. So, I mean, you've got options. And that's it. That's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. And if you pick up any of these products, try them out. Let me know in the comments. And I will see you guys in my next video. Have a great day. Bye.